In the last episode, I left you with the question mark of the scan, and I promised you to take you with me in the scan room today. Just before we proceed, I would like to give you a warning that this episode contains very sensitive material and might upset some people. So listening is advised at your own discretion. The 15th of April was both the day of the move and also the day of the scan. So it was quite an exciting day. In the morning, we proceeded with all the moving. We were full of boxes, full of excitement for the new house, but mostly we were excited to see if we had a heartbeat or not. So we took a Uber and we went to this private center to do a scan. We had mixed feelings because when you go for the first scan, you're always wondering if you're gonna have a heartbeat and if it is a viable pregnancy. It was finally our turn and we went into the room with a lot of hope. The doctor put the ultrasound on my belly. We immediately saw the sac and a little baby, a little bean inside. And I was very excited, and the doctor said there is a heartbeat. At this stage, we were ecstatic, we were crying, we were so happy, and we said like, oh, hello, little bean, and we were so happy. And then the doctor looked a little bit further to see if everything is okay inside the uterus, and all of a sudden he saw a second sac. At that point the doctor froze and he said there might be another one, and we held our breath because this was not really good news for us. We were not wishing for twins because of my age, because of my health conditions, and because of many other personal reasons that we didn't want to have two babies. He looked into the sac and he said, actually this sac is empty, so this pregnancy is not progressing. All good, you have only one baby. And we really took a sigh of relief and we were super happy with our outcome, and we were about to leave the premises when the doctor said, well, actually, let me have a better look at the second sac. And so he asked me to go back again, and once he put the ultrasound on the second sac again, all of a sudden there was a little baby hiding in the corner and a little heartbeat. At that point it was mixed feelings. We were obviously happy to see another baby, but we were also very worried because at that point our new problem started. We had a dual heart, we had two babies, and we could have only one. The truth is that we were extremely scared and we were struggling so much to take a decision because this is an impossible decision. It's something that you don't want to do. It's something that you want to avoid at all cost. And yes, there is also still the possibility that one of the two embryos are not progressing because it was early stage. It was only 6 weeks. There is what is called the twin vanishing syndrome, which means that one of the twins is going to disappear between week 6 and week 12. So we rescheduled other private ultrasounds because it was the coronavirus peak, so we were not allowed to go to the hospital to do the usual scans, and we had to go through everything privately. And 2 babies were growing. The 2 babies seemed to be perfectly healthy, perfectly happy, and they were progressing as they should. We couldn't find any reason apart from my health, my age, and our personal reasons not wanting to have 2 babies. And in this instance, you feel so guilty of even thinking of doing a fetal reduction because you feel like you should have known better. You should have known better from the beginning. But you know, the circumstances sometimes are so difficult that you do a bad choice. And everybody's telling me you did the best that you could at that point in time. But I still believe that I didn't. I still believe that my mind was fogged by the circumstances, by the fear, by the COVID, by everything, and I should have known better. And this is something that I want to share, and it's very hard for me to share this point, but I want to, because I want to make every mother out there aware of the fact that putting multiple embryos, if you are not ready for a multiple pregnancy, is really very risky. There is a 40% of possibilities of you developing a twin pregnancy, and I knew all that. There were many discussions, obviously, between me and Ross from week 6 until week 12, when a possible fetal reduction was advised. It was the most difficult 6 weeks of my life because I didn't want to do that. In a way, I didn't want to do that. But there was part of me that knew that, this was necessary in order to try and save either myself or the other baby. That possibly I could have lost both. We had a therapist, we had counseling, we went through hell. So I've been through hell. We have to take a really tough decision. It's not going to be something that I take with a light heart to do fetal reduction. We didn't know if we wanted to go with the NHS or we wanted to go private. The coronavirus is in the hospitals. I don't want to go there all the time. I just went one day and I wanted to cry. I had to stay there 4 hours with the masks, and there were 3,000 people. It was a nightmare, like a true nightmare. Obviously my partner was not allowed there too. We are gonna go with the private doctor. So we have fixed the procedure for the 28th of this month, like less than 2 weeks. And I start to have kind of nightmares and crying. I cannot ignore that they're both there, they're growing, they look healthy. It takes all the questions out of me, like, are you a good mother? And maybe you should try to have to, yes, you risk your life, but in order not to risk your life, you kill one of them. And then the other voice says, yes, but I do that in order to preserve myself. And it's like an internal battle, and I have nightmares of dead people. That's the bump at almost 11 weeks. And give you big kisses. Don't forget to be woohoo. There's always a reason for everything in life. And if the reason why I'm going through this is because I can help one of you, then I think it's a good reason. There must be a reason. There's always a reason. There's always a silver lining for everything. So I hope that sacrificing this baby is not just wasted, but can help some of you to not do this mistake. And then finally we scheduled the day. And this is the day that I hated the most in my life, the 28th of May. The night before the procedure. I'm sorry, it's a really difficult topic. The night before the procedure, I felt so sick. But it was not because of the pregnancy. I felt so sick because I was about to kill my own son. And I felt like I wanted to throw up. I wanted to kill myself instead. But it seemed I had no other choice. And so I went to this private clinic to do the procedure. And it was painful. Emotionally, the most painful and traumatic thing that I've ever done in my life.
Here at the hospital, and I feel really crushed, scared. This is a very hard journey, and I don't wish it to anybody else. I spent the night feeling really sick, anxious, horrible, sick in my stomach. Ross is outside because he's not allowed in, so I'm here alone at the moment. Yeah, so they called me.
I had to wait in a room for so many hours, and they did an ultrasound to check both babies just before. They put me in this private waiting room. I wish Ross was here, but he still has to be outside. They're gonna call Ross afterwards. Oh, I'm crushed. This is horrible. This is horrible. Don't do that. Avoid it at all costs. Please. All clinics should reassess their way of putting too many embryos into a woman without thinking about the consequences. The woman doesn't know at the time. She can only know what she wants, which is having a baby. That's my view after all this experience. Goodbye. Babies. And then they asked me to go to the room, lay down. And I was awake. The procedure itself is not so painful. It's like doing an amniocentesis. And what they do is they take a long needle and they go through your belly into your womb, and they look for the heart of the baby that you want to reduce. And let's call it by its name, the baby that you want to kill. That's what it is. And then they're gonna push a solution with potassium inside his heart so that the heart stops. Obviously I couldn't see anything. I didn't want to see anything. And I could have stopped it. And I think about this moment. And I hate myself for not stopping them. could have stopped them and I didn't. And when I saw the surgeon nodding to the person that needed to push the solution of potassium into his heart, I saw them communicating silently, and I knew what was going to happen. And I just let it happen. And he died. He died. And after 3 years, it still feels like yesterday. It still feels like I will never be able to forgive myself for what I've done. This is the most traumatic thing that I've ever done in my life. The reason why I share it with you is not to scare you if you have to go through something like this, but it's just to spread awareness of this huge problem that there is today in IVF. There are so many multiple pregnancies, and some women, they cannot just take them, and I think that there should be more awareness around this topic to help women not to be then confronted with something like this, which is gonna possibly affect them for their whole life. And I just hope that if you're seeing this, you take it in the right way. And you might judge me and you might hate me, but you will never be able to hate me more than I hate myself already. The other risk that there is to do a procedure like this is that there is a risk from 5 to 10% of an infection, and with an infection you can potentially miscarry the other baby. So not only I had to go through this, but for 4 weeks I was trembling every day because I thought I might also lose the other baby, and this would have been the end of everything. After the procedure, we felt both terrible. I can't describe with words how terrible we felt. And for a few days I had to stay in bed.
It's a horrible experience which I do not recommend to anybody, and that's why again I recommend all the ladies, if you're not sure 100% that you can medically have twins at your age and that you want and you can afford to have twins at your age, please do not put 2 embryos, because it's very, very hurtful and so unfair for the baby to go through all this. I'm constantly monitoring my fever because the signs for infection and miscarriage are high fever, loss of fluid, which would be the sac basically bursting the water, and so losing fluids, like a lot of fluids, not just a little bit, or bleeding, like strong bleeding. And if I have that, I should go to the A&E immediately. Fingers crossed that God is helping us in this hopefully last hurdle. Everything has been so difficult. Baby that is now an angel. He's definitely an angel, and I miss him, and I'm very sad.
And then for a month every day, we were looking for the heartbeat of the little machine to search for the heartbeat to see if she was still there. Every single day I was trembling, every single day. And after a month, we felt a little bit of relief because she was still there.
Is it warm? Oh. Should have warmed it.
Keep the volume up.
Yeah. Up full. Okay.
So, Billy, are you more tranquil? DJ in Ross?
DJ.
Music of the future? Any thoughts on listening the heart of the baby?
It's always nice. And it's always a relief.
Yeah, I'm glad that we have this fetal Doppler, so I know that the baby's alive. But when I don't find it, I freak out. So I need Ross to find it.
Keep growing there, baby. Keep growing. Doing so well.
And in this month we did a gender reveal party, which was beautiful, but there was always this bittersweet feeling of knowing that her brother was still inside of me, but he was dead. And I carried him for 9 months. We called him Osman as the driver that helped us to go through the customs. He's our hero. He sacrificed himself in order to make sure that our daughter would have the best chances to survive. Today the background is this painting that was done by a twin flame visionary. She's called Vesna, and she did this painting for me and Ross. On the orbits there are 2 little planets. For me these 2 planets are our 2 children. I just wanted to dedicate this episode to our son Osman. I leave you now, and I hope in the next episode to cheer you up again with something more beautiful. Bye bye.